Hello. As usual, hopefully this is working. One day I'll work it out to tell this whether it's working. So, I'm back with Factorio today. I'm not back with the 1K map. It's working, and I think I finally got every single bug out of the bloody thing. So, once I've tested it a little bit more, I will let you know. I'll do a quick update stream on it, because it'd be nice to finally, like, just get it through. Why are you telling me I've got unstable bitrate? My average stream bitrate is too high. Whatever. Your deal. um, yeah, so today I'm going to play Krastorio. I've genuinely never, ever played this. I've basically got no mods on other than FNEI, ToDo List, and Afraid of the Dark. So yeah, I have no idea how to play this. Shelter. I have no idea what the hell the shelter's for then. Mining drill, stone furnace. I've got a wood. Nice. Some ammo. Tech card, which is wood and copper cable. Insert parts, they sound useful. Okay. What else can I get? Oh, ooh. More ammo. I get some assemblers. Nice. Is picking this up do me any good? Yes, it does, actually. Interesting. Some of these appear to be doing me good and some of them don't. Damaged ship research computer. So that's where you get the basic tech cards from. Okay, so it looks like I need to get power first. Means I need some of these, which are all iron and stone. Okay. So it looks like it's the standard start procedure of you, and then go and find bigger boulders with coal in them. Doo-doo. Okay, that gives me some iron. For now, let's build a bunch more of you. And a few more trees, I guess. Oh, hold on, no recipe. Okay, right, so I actually need to select a recipe for these. Fair enough. 5 iron plates is 10 ore. Okay. Interesting. Oh, there's a heavy rate calculator on. Lovely. So I can build a second one of these. Let's build a second one of these because it looks like that's going to be useful. I need some more coal. Oops. There we go. Where's more coal? 49 coal, though. Oh, I've gotten far too used to playing with Factorio Reach on. Where you can just dump stuff at any distance. Okay. That lets me get 2 coal miners going. Let's see if this normal trick still works with these. Good, does. Okay. So I think for now I'm just going to carry on trying to expand my iron production for a minute. Because I have a feeling that's going to be quite useful. Right. Basically I just need more. Still haven't set the recipe. As I keep getting to, and this is quite loud. I guess I'll do one more of those for now. Reminds me, there is an interface setting for. Right, pick ghost item if thingy items are not available. That's exactly what I wanted. Perfect. Slightly annoying though that you keep picking the coal out of the... If you're not careful. Right. Note to self on that one. Okay. So that should get me some out of iron plates. Where's my copper around here? All the way up there. Oh, lovely. Or something or other. So I have got the richness of these up really high. Because I'm super freaking lazy. And can't be bothered to constantly go and deal with such things. Okay. Let's go put one of these on the coal then. On the coal. Oh, whatever it's called, the copper. Just done coal down here. Because it looks like I need that for research. Oh, now I need stone. Where's some stones? Oh god, I missed squeak. I forgot I haven't got squeak through on either, do I? Oh man, that one I might regret. That one might get added at some point. Alright, I'm gonna need some more stone. Right, what do I need for power? Because I'm going to need that next. Wind turbines. Ooh, steel. Or iron beam, I should say. Right, just made from iron plate, that's fine. get some copper going. The one I'm curious about is, why is there another recipe on these? Rare metals. 10 raw metals. Rare metal. 10 raw rare metals into rare metals. Okay. Where do we get those from? Raw rare metals. Okay. So the purple stuff. Okay. Alright. So that should get me the iron. That should get me the copper. Let's have a quick look at what the researches are. So I got weapons, I got automation core. What's that? Character mining speed plus 50%. Guess I go for that one first, and I guess I go for that one second. So I need, actually hang on. I'm gonna change my mind. $25, $10, $20. So that's 30. And it's 1 wood per. Okay, so I've got enough wood. Okay. Not enough iron. Let's go get more iron. I need power first. How do I make power poles? Power poles are the usual thing. Oh wow. That's a lot of coal. Let's make 5 of those. What's that? Damage check. If this building is deconstructed. I feel like I shouldn't deconstruct that. That was 8 of them, wasn't it? So 8 times 5 is 40, which is not quite enough. Okay. Let's grab the wooden turbines. They're quite big. $20 kilowatts each. So basically naffle. Fair enough. Now I know. I guess I should just plonk this down somewhere. Let's get this started. Building is deconstructed. Will give you back raw materials but can't be rebuilt. Okay, so you don't take apart the assemblers. Okay. Notes made. Let's go around and do some resource collecting for a minute. I have no idea how much that actually puts in doing that, but... Well, one at a time, but I have no idea how much actually ends up in it. Each one. A lot of coal, but not quite enough to just, like, dump it all. You can just have a full 200 to sod it. I didn't actually collect any of the resources, did I? Oops. I think that's like some weird numbers. Like those making batches of 4. I don't think that's enough somehow. $25, 20, 10, so 30, 50, 55. And I've made 45 so far. 45, yeah. More wood. Need 2 more lots of them. Yeah, that'll do. Well, looks like we need more after that. I think it's probably worth going automation straight off. Where do I get inserters from? Inserters. Ah, right, I need to get logistics. Okay. I can make normal labs, can't I? They're a bit power hungry though, considering they give you effectively the same thing for the same amount of power. Okay. That's a good point. Before I start automating, how do I sort power out? Steam engines. So I want to do that one and that one next. Okay. I am going to make a shed ton of belts for a minute. This bit of the game is always stupidly slow. probably... solid. Right, so that's where you get the water pump from, and you get the steam stuff. Okay. Let's just make stuff in preparation for other things. Because, in theory, if I can get some steam power online, I should be able to get moving. I need to keep an eye on my steam cloud, my cloud as well. Wow, those make really, really quickly. Still going to take a while, though. Meanwhile, let's keep clearing trees. Can I make a radar? No, I can't. How do you make radars? Wow. Why do I feel like that's an awful long way down the tech tree? I gotta do oil first before I get radars. Ooh. Okay. Interesting. Do I get some sort of vehicle before then? Welcome to the jungle. Yeah, greenhouses. Nice. I was hoping to get some sort of car at some point, but again, that looks a long way down the tech tree as well. Oh well. Okay, getting belts on the go. 172 belts. Okay, that should be enough. For now. I guess for now I just keep handcrafting. I'm tempted to put you down. Use some coal. No, it doesn't work. It's always the problem with doing bloody these types of inserters. Well, at least that'll get some of those making, I guess. I feel like I should just do another one of those for like... It feels like it's quite a need for gears. So while my power grid can handle it, I'm just going to run those guys. Nope, I didn't actually go and pick up the iron plates. Iron plates, come here. Let's make a load more of those. Okay, so we're almost there with that research number 1. It's always a good start. Also, why the hell is there a Christmas? I just realised I put Christmas on. Christmas is gone for the year. It's not back till next year. Okay, let's dump all these onto coal production. Doesn't work. Hang on. We're done there. That's what I want. That should get me a good amount of coal. Right, that's why you're already out. Yay, fast pickaxe. Can destroy trees quicker. Oh, I see. It's fine. I've got enough power. The tree's going a lot quicker though. Should be getting there. Ooh. I'm actually going to handcraft most of this stuff to begin with, I think. Yeah, it's in-game achievements for these. Krastorio. That's interesting. Oh, come on. Too slow. Better gun. Coal. And copper. Okay. Ooh, grenades. Steel plate. Can't make steel plate yet, game. How do you make steel plate then? Yeah, apparently I need to research that one. Steel processing, there it is. Okay. Plenty of ammo. No such thing as too much ammo, so... Do these give you anything? Yeah. Okay. It's actually worth deconstructing all of this stuff. Just make sure it's not stuff that is actually useful. Okay. That's quite a cool little trick. Oh, that didn't give me anything though. I'm not going to deconstruct the main ship. I know I probably could, but don't really want to, basically. I always think it's nice to have a little grounding about where you actually are in the game. Okay. That looks like everything I can deconstruct. Apart from stuff that's actually useful. Ooh, I got electronic circuits. I can't even make those yet. Shiny. Wow, I've actually managed to get to a point where all those are filled with coal. I feel proud of that. I may have a bit of an excess in coal production then. It's fine, it'll get burnt up soon when I got main power grid online. Give me more power poles. Kind of nice actually, like having to actually like use wood. It's one of the things I like about mod packs is they actually use wood usually. So you actually have a point of making some, or actually collecting it other than just burning it. You know what, I know what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to grab some stone. I'm going to make a fourth iron thing. Because it still feels like iron's going to be my biggest limiting factor for a bit. Okay, switch gun to the better one, so that I actually use the better one. Now, by the time I can actually build that, it should work out quite nicely. Which I think is too much conveyor, so let's do that. I feel like almost all of my iron plate is just going into these at the moment. Sorry, it's copper plate. Automation cores. Have I just said that and now I actually just need copper plate as a thing? There's the fourth one of those going. I'm not going to just dump all of the iron into the assembler because no real benefit to it. I don't think I use iron gear wheels for everything, so 10, 20, 113. Okay, I've got a few too many of those right now. Well, assembler can go online then. Armor can go online. Right, let's go for all of those for now. The next stack. So 10, 50, 50, 110, 130, 140. So we don't actually have enough of those. Yeah, let's just make more. What do these things require? Iron, iron, iron. Lots of iron. Should probably get around to at some point very shortly switching the coal production over to an actual like belt based production. Oh, I'm also at the point where that's got like a full set of but didn't mean to click that. Okay. This should be enough coal to actually fully saturate the coal, everything over here. Because then I should be able to demolish that and rebuild it to belt produce. These are almost there. Pipes. One of those. Yeah, you need the automation core for that. Fair enough. Let's just dump up like 100 pipes because I'll probably need a lot of those. Also, go away Christmas songs. Nobody wants Christmas songs at this time of year. Okay. Let's demolish all this lot. let's do a pretty typical setup for this. Where you just do one of those. There we go. Oops. Okay. Don't know why I did it that way around, but I did. So, whatever. Deal. Why did I do that? You know what? Actually. So the reason I did that was because this inserter will always struggle to pick up. So it'll very rapidly run out of power. So by leaving it like this, it just works better basically. And I still get to have my even number on each side. Let's just get these conveyors running over here. Plow them straight through the middle of all the trees, because of course I'm going to. We need to unbind the X key. Because I keep saying that, so let's just go like... Can I just unbind X? Right. Reset that, right click to clear. Confirm. There we go. It's one of those, I know why it's in there because of the number of bars, but I always click it in accident. So it's more just of a pain in the ass to me. Tiny little trees. Okay. So, assuming all this works exactly the same as it does in standard Factorio, I'll need that much space. So the coal can start stacking up. I can't just run through the trees anymore. God damn it. Come on, steam engine. Again, automation calls making pairs, don't they? Weird. Let's make a bunch of labs. The labs are always useful. Based on my assumption is they get used. Good, the coal's stacking up nicely. It's always what I like to see. Ooh, interesting. That requires power. That is curious. How much power does it require? 20 kilowatts. Which I think is one of these electric ones. One of these wind turbines. Okay. I'm going to steal one of these wind turbines and stick it next to that guy. That means it's got unlimited power. Which is kind of essential for considering what it does. Wind turbine. Perfect. Almost there with steam engines, so I can always get power. Air purification. Huh? Interesting. The air purifier does look kind of interesting though. Nope, not that one. Okay, so you only have to make 0.1. Interesting. Come on, we're almost there with steam engines. Let me build them already. $91. Almost there, almost there. $97%. Come on. 98%. 99%. And done. Okay, they work in the same ratios by the looks of it. And you do... Doesn't tell me. 1.25k per second. And I'm assuming all this will work in the same sort of order as it does usually. automation's going nice and quick though. The next two are going to take a little bit longer. And hopefully by then I've got some power to actually use like the normal labs. Automation. Okay, that's not too bad. Right, I guess I should aim for electric grinding mill after that. Blank tech card. Automation core. Okay, so they're not too expensive either. Automation cores aren't too bad either. Okay. This is looking promising. Right. I always use better inserters here because it's more capable of taking power outages, let's say. Okay. Die trees, die. I need the wood though, so I can't shoot them. Uh, 10 left, so I need another 5. So basically I need to cut my way through this entire load of trees. Lucky me. Right. I feel like I made a few too many of these. And by that I mean boilers. Considering I've literally got twice as many as I needed. Oh well. Okay. Wow, you can get a lot of boilers on. Get through the steam engines back on. Alright, I don't want these on the same grid. I'm purposely going to run this to the end. And let's run it back to the main power grid. Well, at least what exists of the main power grid, at least. Right. That should get me a bit more power. 22.8 megawatts. Yep, that'll do. Let's grab a few of these as well. That should give me a bit more speed on my research. Okay, I'm gonna have a start looking at just what's required to automate like basic science, or the basic research pack, are they called? Basic tech card, and in a minute the... Ugh. Stop pressing that. And in a minute the advanced tech card. One of the things that we have to do quite urgently is probably get logistics online, so I can actually get coal running to these things, but I think I'm alright for now. Like, it's going to be a little while before I run out. Oh, I need inserters, so which I need logistics for. Okay. Because I don't want to do all this with burner inserters. The burner inserters are just annoying. Okay. My pollution cloud is getting quite big now, and I have no idea where the biters are. I did, however, set the safe area to be as big as possible. So hopefully everything works without any problems. Quick blow up. Let's go restock the furnaces, because it looks like those consume a lot more power than the miners. Should have picked... No, I was going to say I should have picked up, but I got so much copper at the moment, it's ridiculous. Okay. What's your mining job can go after logistics? So what does the crusher do? Yeah, so you can just destroy stuff. Fair enough. Times 50. There's 20 of them in each of them, so... Actually, hang on. Oh. 148... 220. So I've still got 80. 70. Or 72, I should say. Cool. Which isn't actually quite enough for that, so let's make some more of those. Right, so once I've got a little bit of automation going on the science, my plan of action will be to start putting in furnace arrays. And then start providing materials to the thingies. No idea where I'm actually going to build this everything, because I've got plumbing cliffs on this game. So I probably need to do some running around and exploring. These... Yeah, so it's just the wind turbines that constantly show orange. Weird. Weird. Don't know. And I need need, what, 30 automation cards. Okay, let's go do some exploring for a minute. Because I kind of need to find where beta bases are. One too far. Man, I forget how slow you run on this game. More water. That's a good sign. I think that should be... Sorry, I'm lining up on the map to make sure I get a perfect square. Because, yes, I'm OCD enough to actually go and do that. As much as there are other bits of it that I'm completely un-OCD on, for some reason that's one of them I always end up doing. I assume that's oil. Crude oil. Maybe I shouldn't have turned the richness up quite so high. 6.4 million from that many seems a bit... Fair enough. Okay, lots of cliffs in this area, which is a bit annoying. Go again, let me walk in a straight line, please. Go away, Bible Basher. So if I manage to complete this whole loop, it looks like I'll still be able to see my entire cloud. What do I need to do to get to car? Oh, I need the third science type. Okay. Go turrets after that. And probably electronics. I'll also go straight to the next card as well. Those aren't too hard to make. How do we get to greenhouses? Stone processing. Use crusher. Okay. Let's do those two then. If anyone's wondering how I keep moving around while I'm in the thingy menu, the research menu, it's because this is a dedicated server. Although I've not got it running, but I've got it set to pause when I leave the game. It's just one of the little features of running it on a dedicated server that the menus don't pause everything. I guess because it would make everything pause for everybody else. Head back to base, and by the time I get back there, I should have a bunch of science to dump in the machines. This like cave. They look cool. I also collect all my copper and things on the way through. Okay. Logistics is on its way. I'll probably edit the way these are set up soon. So I can just dump everything into one of them and it can pass it through to the others. Come on, logistics. Wow, they're slow to make. Wow. They are super slow to make. Yay! Alright. I'm just going to go straight to automating all these. Because this is a bit slow. So, 1, 2, basic and thingy. I need you and automation cores. These iron plates. This needs a pair, one for rods and one for gears. Oh my god. What is up with the Christmas music? Okay. Then, if I put you guys like that. Hopefully the pass-through on these is still working. Ooh, loaders. Nice. That'll be useful. Lots of iron. I need a box for wood. Happily get rid of that on my inventory, thank you. That's not what I meant to put in there. Yeah, let's try and get rid of some of the other stuff I've got on me. Okay. Okay, looks like that's working. No idea what the ratios are like on that. Assuming faster than it's using. Fair enough. It'll do whatever it wants. I need more resources now, having gotten rid of just about everything ahead. Those loaders are interesting though. I do like loaders. Right. Let's make a bucket ton of them. Make a bucket ton of them. Apples. I'm just thinking about what I'm going to need for like the smelting array. So lots of power poles is one of them. So I'm going to physically put in enough space to actually like do a full-sized array. Even if I know I'm not going to use it straight away. I just realised I never actually went and explored the entire square of map. Let's go do that for a minute while everything starts to run. This bit of the game is always super slow. Looks like I'm going to be wandering up through all these trees. Lucky me. Without Screek through on, that's a bit more of a pain in the ass. Well, it looks like there's the spot if I want to put belts. Because if we're going into... Come on. Walk through the trees. If this bit's more deserty, then that's promising in terms of space to lay a main bus down. I think that's probably where I'm going to go for the main bus. So I'll put the smelting arrays probably just in here for now. Just the two of them. I don't think there's any point in putting more than two of them down. Let's get the electric mining drill started as well. I'll need belts in a reasonable number. Yeah, I'm going to start running out of iron shortly. I don't really want to start twice the mining speed. So I could switch out the thingy mite so I can start making some extra. Okay. what I'm making is I'll make some extra iron smelters, because it only needs one electric mining drill to feed each one. Greenhouse is needed. I think this actually lets you put down trees. Maybe. You can actually make trees. Huh. Who'd have thought? You can make rocks, apparently. Okay, there we go. What else do I need? Some of you. Some of you. A lot of you. Okay. Yeah, I'm just preparing everything I need for the smelter arrays. I'll start laying them out as well. I don't know what the ratios are going to be like for these, so theoretically I can use these, but probably shouldn't. Okay. Hour. Okay. Making power poles, and then we're on to the miners. Should help me speed production up. What are we doing on coal? Lots. Good. Thankfully, when they've all got 200 coal stacks, it actually goes quite a long way, which is very useful. How much do these actually consume then in terms of belt numbers? Oh, so I need twice that to actually make... Okay. Let's do a full belt full. Oh, I know what I'm doing then. I probably won't be able to feed this for a while, but whatever. Basically. This is where I love rate calculator. It only makes me half a belt of thingy though. No, no more. How many do I need to get to half? 30. So I need 30 electric miners to do a full belt of iron. Okay. I'm actually going to power down. Let's steal a whole bunch of coal. Should be plenty on this line. I'll do. That'll almost double my iron output, rather worryingly. I assume I'm correct in my thinking of needing 30 of them, yep. Okay, so I've got 6. I need a few more than that. That's 20, so I need 10 more than that. Which slightly ironically is an iron-bound thing. And at the moment I've time to produce stuff thing. Okay. So get in there. I'll put a priority to the main system, and let's bring you up there. Then I will want some stuff. One, two. Okay. Right, and at the end of this, I'm going to put the loader. You require electricity, I assume you do. Right, 10 more miners, which is the correct number for 30. And 100. Yes, it's only 3 megawatts power, so that's fine. Right, then I just need a lot more belts. I put all these the wrong way around. Whoops. Lovely. Now I get to turn them all around. Can I just like... Cool. Oops. Right, there we go. Somewhere about... Oh, there it is. There we go. Cool. The loader doesn't require electricity. Nice. Once my queue is finished building, I should have enough stuff to actually start automating everything. Glass and sand. Ooh. Nice. Okay. We'll have to work out what... glass will be for the greenhouse. That will be what it's for. So I'm just moving that around thinking that I'll put the third type here when I can. Wrong one. It's worth trying to get those out of there and over to there because it looks like... Well, I'll deal with that at a later point. To get a good throughput of iron, I should actually make my life a lot easier. I want to do that. Okay. Then of course I need to do the same for copper. Which shouldn't be too hard to do. I'm going to want... Actually, let's just put one crusher in. Because I want to make a little glass setup. Which will just be a single crusher. Into a single furnace. You know what? Let's do it like this for the first one. Okay. So, the most ideal way would be to use undergrounds. Like that. To like jump between these and then you put power poles down the middle, but I'm not too fussed about like breakneck speeds right this second, so. Be a perfectionist about the way I put down power poles, shall I? Almost can be a perfectionist. $28. Okay. I'm going to use the splitter rather than just dumping them onto the conveyors. Is there actually enough inserters to do that? .7, .75, okay, so there's just about enough capacity in one of the yellow certers for that. Okay, fair enough. Let's lose these three. Down here. Means I can lose this lot. Probably dump all those onto coal production. Because having more coal production is never a bad thing. Especially when I've got that much coal. Wow. That is a lot of coal. Okay. So the crusher... Wow, that's big. Go there. Stone. Any more stone? One sec. Oh, look at that iron plate going up. Sweet. Now I'm going to have issues with copper until I deal with the copper one now. Well. Stone. Glass. That is huge, though. It obviously does a good job. Greenhouse. Alright, so when I get a bit more thingy thing, I can deal with that. Okay. Fun job of placing all the stuff down in one of these without robots. Right, switch you over to copper plate. Oops. Somehow I placed that the wrong way around. Just make sure all the coal gets removed from the other side of the line. Dump you in one of you. Again, I'm just waiting for my queue to finish. Lucky me. How much did that do to my power grid? Not a lot, which is what I wanted. Good. And I assume my coal use is fine. I guess my theoretical coal use is probably too high though. No? No, hold on, that didn't do. Did I not catch the boilers? There we go. 360. Okay, so I'm slightly behind on the coal. But I have got a bunch more of these to put down, so I'll do that for a minute. Oh, poor thing ran out of coal. There we go. Now I need a little bit of coal. How much glass have I got? Quite a lot. Cool. Let's take a look at making greenhouses. And I assume greenhouses have the wonderful effect of reducing pollution. They do. Perfect. That's what I wanted to see. Let's grab some wood. So I can make some greenhouses. Get in there. Starting to get to somewhere where I've got a little bit of automation going, which is always nice. Why am I doing that? That was a silly idea. Definitely need to go a bit further down before I go across. Wow, what's all this stuff? So steel? Oh yeah, I need coke. How do you make coke then? Wood and coal. Ooh. Interesting. And it has to be coke as well. Okay. I haven't worked out what rare materials are for yet, but I assume I'll need it at some point since they're pretty close by. That is a hell of a queue. It's going to take a little while. You are just running. Still wood, still copper, still copper, still iron, still iron. Although I'm short on iron right now. How does these... I'll have to... When I can build a greenhouse, I'll have to work out how the recipe works for it. My guess is I need to bring water across. Weird how one piece of coal made all that difference. No. Still producing everything. One piece of coal. $60. Okay. Oh, I'm getting there. Want to get this first bit of automation going, it'll be nice. Oh, I don't know what's... Oh, I guess I could go set up the miners on the other side, couldn't I? On the copper side. Well, I haven't got any... things to use. Whatever that means. Belts. That's the word I'm thinking of. Uh, 9 left. So 3 go there, so I need 3 like that. Let's just dump them somewhere so that I don't put them somewhere else accidentally. Okay, power pole's down. Wait, how's power getting through? Oh, it's just completely saturated, probably. Yeah. I was thinking, how is power getting through when I've just disconnected it? The answer is it wasn't. I'll probably disassemble these because I don't think they're actually much use to me. We'll, however, keep that bit of power. Because it's free power, sod it. I'm keeping it. So I'm just plonking those because I'm going to guess I'm going to need to put another water thing down in a moment. When I get my... whatever it is. Greenhouses, that's the word I'm thinking of. Oh, I can't wait to get some of this automated. This is painful waiting around at the moment. Got a lot of iron though. Nice. I like having a lot of iron. That'll be nice when I can blow all this up. Almost there. Wait, these things take automation cores? They do take concerted parts and automation cores, fair enough. I could probably just get rid of some of this stuff. I could just demolish it and get the parts back. I think I've gotten to the point where I don't really need to worry about it. Because I don't like flashy yellow symbols telling me they haven't got power. I don't really want to power them when I don't plan to use them. Sentinel. Oh. Like mini radars, are they? Interesting. That's useful. It has a small sector scanning progress. Yeah, it works. Cool. Don't know how big the sector scanning progress will be, but hey, better than nothing. Riding it gets me something. Maybe it doesn't have a sector scanning progress? Ooh, got me inserters. That means I can get rid of the next set of blinky lights. Okay. Now once I've got belts to hook stuff up with, on the go. Which I need to wait for the greenhouses first. Not that I'm complaining about waiting for greenhouses, because that'll be useful. Right, there's the greenies. Haven't worked out how to make those yet, so let's have a look. The iron gear wheels are nice and easy. I also need to take those and get them over to there. And I need green circuits. Which are not too hard either. Must say I was expecting like tier 3 research to be further into the game. Must be said. I'm not complaining, I should point out. Just not what I expected. Okay. Bitters. And there is copper flowing. Copper running. That actually travels down the belt. That'll get me a shed ton of copper. Wood. So it just very slowly generates wood. 80 per minute, okay. Just need to feed it water. Alright, I'll do that in a sec. Oops, that's not the right way around. So if I actually put it the right way around. Okay. Yeah, let's split up. Just gonna even off that belt off so that it actually works properly. I need to get rid of the copper ore, don't I? Yeah. Don't want copper ore on me. Okay. Let's go make some undergrounds. Also need one of those. And wow, I've got a lot of iron all of a sudden. Not quite so much copper yet, but it will get there. Okay, well there's a shed ton of stuff to build again. Dump some copper in you. Wood and iron plates, okay. That should start getting me green stuff. Once I belt that over here. Okay, let's do that quick. I'm going to belts. Lovely. At least those aren't taking very long to make. Oh wow, they go a long way. That's useful. Oh, I can see what the hell's going on there. Ah, trees! Yeah, Squeak Through might be going back on. Yeah, so it appears the Sentinels unfortunately don't do sector scanning. I do, however, want to know where radar's gone. Because I want radar. Radars are really useful. Oh god, I need... Oh god. Okay, they are a long way away still. Wow, that wasn't... That is a lot further than I was expecting them to be. Just waiting for these bits to build so I can build the water pump. I don't know exactly where it belongs. I'm going to guess it's like there, just to be annoying. Does help if I also put some power to this, doesn't it? Okay. Oops. some more copper. Right, I think one of the other things I'm going to automate quickly is some belts. Because I think I'm going to need quite a lot of those to build the bus style system for this. I knew it was going to be there. Just knew it was going to be there. There we go. So this is working. It's just stupidly slow. 60 seconds, yeah. Okay. That should pull out some of the pollution in the most dense parts, so I'm not going to complain about that. Okay. So that's a good start. Now what? Probably look at what other researchers I've got. Let's have a look. What researchers have we got? So, heavy armor's probably useful. That one's probably useful. Lots of other back containers right now. Military 3 is always useful. Grenades, definitely useful. Automation 2 I'm not too fussed about right now. What's the effects? Assuming it's just faster. Not too fussed about that. Landfill. Not too fussed. Advanced material processing. That one I'm probably more interested in. Second network combined with that one always useful. Better electrics. Better logistics I'm not too fussed about right now. Okay, that gives me a good list of stuff. Oh, I'm out of wood. Right. Wow, that produces wood surprisingly quickly. How much does it produce per? 40 wood per, so 80 wood a minute. Fair enough. Which isn't even hard to expand. Just slightly ironically needs more wood. Yeah, whatever. Right, let's build 4 more of these because that'll actually get me quite a lot extra, and it should help with my pollution problem. I did find crude oils down there, didn't I? So that looks like where I'm going next. I'm curious what these rare materials are for. All sorts of things, but I get the impression they're probably a little bit later on for me. Fair enough. I don't need to worry about those right now, which is always nice. Right. All these make at the same speed, 7.5 per minute. Just I could consume them a lot faster than that. Fair enough. That's fine. I don't mind that. Okay. I'm gonna run power heal. Less than that. Okay. I'm assuming that will get. Oh, I've got the recipe. Okay. Yep, I guess water through. I should probably unload said wood. Oops. Wrong way around. And then start feeding you into something. One loader, and one chest. What's this in the building? Okay, perfect. Alright. Next thing I'm going to do then is look at automating these belts quick. Oh, I did that just wrong. Cool. Let's make some loaders. Then what I'm thinking is I'll just run that upwards a bit further. Crafting speed 2. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so if I could double the belt speed into this, that will then produce a full yellow belt output. Okay. Cool. I'm hoping later on there's like smelt liquid. Or enrichment. Ooh, that sounds interesting. Ooh, then we get dirty water. Ooh, interesting. I need sulfuric acid first. What does enriched copper get you? So it is actually a little bit better. Okay, interesting. Oh well, that was enough. 1, 2. That's in the wrong spot actually. 1, 2. Fine gear wheels. Conveyors. And some power. There we go. How well does that all work? Weirdly works almost perfectly. Other than the fact I just need a second inserter there, I think. Nope, I need a second inserter on both of them. Okay. That should now run at full capacity. Oh god, this is where I find out I need more to unload it. 2. Oh my god. The irony. Apparently putting that power pole there stops them actually working. Yeah. Okay, let's get me lots of conveyors. I never actually made that armor. What's the heavy armor made from? One light armor. Okay, so there's actually a benefit to me still making the light armor. Okay. Wow, I've almost got 1,000 wood already. Wow. That produces surprisingly quickly. Can one of those inserters... Yeah, 0.8. Wow. That is a lot of wood. May have gone over the top on the wood. Not that I'm complaining. Oops. Okay. So, next thing, let's plan out a bit of this bus then. I'm thinking it'll go there to there. I'll probably build down the bottom here. Or maybe up the top, I haven't decided which. Probably at the top actually, thinking about it. So let's start laying out where that's going to live. Oh, this is where I'm going to miss nanobots. Nanobots are such useful little things. There's also some crude oil there, so let's miss that. Okay, let's go here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's bring in the top two as iron and copper. I probably need to make a glass at some point, but I'm not too fussed about that right this second. Which I'll probably let off just putting stone on the line, actually, thinking about it. Let's make a stone one up here as well. Yeah, I'm going to need quite a few conveyors to get these back from there. So this is going to take a little bit of producing. And probably some tree destroying. Okay. Then we go across. I'm not going to like do this too neatly because this isn't... Destroying trees is fun, but not as fun as building stuff. There we go. There's the pathway. There's already a few hundred belts, so that's good. Just double checking everything's got plenty of stuff in it, which it appears to. So I haven't worked out what this is for. carry on building belts then. I know this is a bit backwards, but I feel like you're going to use more iron at the moment, so I want that one closest to the top. Right, let's run power poles back. I've only got 14 of them. And I've got no way to make... Oh no, I do. I just need more wood. Okay. That gives me a few more power poles. Come on. Trees. Okay. Let's grab what conveyor belts I've got. Okay. Let's try and run this one as far back as I possibly can. There we go. Right. Power poles check. Next I need to work out what the hell I'm doing. So first I think I'm just going to build a bunch of the intermediates, and I'm going to do it kind of over the top, so like I'll basically try and produce a whole belt of them, even if I can't feed that much yet. Right. Picked up the sandstone. Okay. Power poles. Power poles. Power poles. That is a lot of power poles. Having just realised that, I think it's worth just running the coal line across then. Because I will probably need a bit of coal somewhere. To get an output priority the other way. Ah, trees in the way. Right. So there's coal coming. And I just need to get the stone online. Which is again another 30 miners. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sniper rifle. Ooh, anti-material rifle. Wow. That sounds scary. Quite cheap still. Yeah, I think having coal on the line is definitely a good idea. It looks like I do actually need some amount of it. Really, you two are just in the way. And I'm out of belts again. I'm not actually sure if I'm going to get 30 miners on that. Ah, you forget I can't walk through trees. It's beginning to annoy me. Ah, I'm definitely putting Squeak Through on. Squeak Through is happening. Let me cut down on the number of these. I don't think I'm going to get that many on this patch. Oops. How much is that? 24. Okay, that's actually not that bad. So 10. Okay. So if I actually leave space to put a power line. I need to clear some more trees. Right. There is a persistent stone feed. One more tree. Okay. Probably don't have quite enough conveyors to do this. No, don't think so. Well, while I was building, we're going to get more conveyors coming. There should be a good number of them, right? A bit of belt balancing in there. Because it's a bit weird the way that it's balancing that, so. Right. Belts. I've got belts. I now need something else. Miners help. Walk between these now, I can't. Oops. Stone miner's done. Anything else? I'm just waiting for the stone miners to finish building. Shouldn't take too much longer. These actually take each 14 seconds, so about another minute. Okay. My pollution cloud is beginning to spread a bit more as well. Even with this sucking out a little bit of pollution. I can imagine I'm producing more than I... Come on. Pollution. They're sucking in 30, and I'm producing a fair bit more than that. Alright, there's stone done. I'm going to put a little chest in. Because I always think it's worth putting these little buffer chests in. Do it the right way around. Especially since it's free. No power requirement for those. So it just, for me, buses tend to work a bit kind of, they're all on. Factory must glow. Hello, Stoosh. How are you? Yeah. The loaders are free, so like hell am I not using them? Yes, I'm on Krastorio. I've never actually played this mod before. Yeah. Oh, do they? I was honestly expecting them to work with... I was honestly expecting loaders to work with trains, so I didn't realise they didn't actually work. I'm glad to hear that they do now. Yes. I've just gotten to the point where I'm trying to make a start of a bus. So... I can actually get off trying to manually produce most of my stuff. Yeah. Are you a big Factorio fan then, Mighty? What am I doing next? Producing other stuff, that's what I'm doing next. Yeah, I've got far too many hours in this game. I'm almost at 1700 now. Right. How many of these do I need to make a full belt? I do have a few mods on to make my life easier, by the way. Eight. Okay. Oh, I've gone off these. Oh, it didn't take me long to start adding mods into this game. But to be fair, I usually play with more quality of life stuff than I do actually like mod packs. Because, yeah, quality of life, useful. Okay. Nope, I still don't have enough for you. For now, I'm just going to place one of these down each. Knowing that they need upgrading to the blue ones at some point. I haven't got enough inside to see that. Really? Oh yeah, auto delete on miners is useful. Auto deconstruct, isn't it? I think that's what the mod's called. I do sometimes play with it and I sometimes don't. I've purposely toned back on my mods for this because I don't know what's in Krastorio and what's not in it. But like, I'm thinking I'm already going to put Squeak Through back on. I don't even know where the red dots are on these. Oh yeah, there's a little orangey thing there. Character, please stop running away. That's in the wrong spot. There we go. Oh, come on. Build queue, finish. Yeah, I don't actually know where I get bots in this one. I hope I get them soon. I need more belts. I haven't actually looked it up yet. Where are bots in this? I noticed you don't get, like, cars until you've done a bunch of other stuff. It's kind of one of those ones I want to do. Flare stacks, that'll be useful. Gas power station? What the hell's a gas power station? What else have we got? There's robots, construction bots. Should assume it means there's a worker robot somewhere. Wow, that's actually not a million miles away because Chemical Tech Card isn't that far from me. It's up there. Anyways, other things. Oh, cars in this game are horrible, but I have got biters on, so being able to like jump in a car and react to them will be useful, and it'll help with exploring because I'm beginning to get to the point where my pollution cloud's outside of what I can currently see, and that always worries me slightly. I don't know how they managed to make the driving system of this so hard. I really don't get it. I think there's an element of it's a bit too reactive, and I think there's an element of it's really not the most intuitive system. You would be better off keeping with character control style controls on them. Oh, damn it, I got too much stuff in my queue. Can't finish my building. I can't wait till I don't have to build everything in my queue. It's getting so close as well. I mean, I didn't really need to build quite this many, but yeah, whatever. It's only half a belt. Come on, Q. Because I've got an awful lot of these to do next. Yeah, I saw them. Air filters. Where did I see them? It was after motor, wasn't it? Air. That one. I was having a look at that because I spotted it, and it looks like the pollution filters themselves are pretty cheap, and you've got a reasonable, like, you get back quite a lot of them. You then have to just like wash them out and you can reuse them, which is kind of cool. I do need to work out what the hell to do with dirty water first, though. I assume that's somewhere in this. Atmospheric condension. Oh, it's got one of these things. You just condense out of... fair enough. Wait, you can make water from the atmosphere? Ooh. That's interesting. I like the sound of that. That means you don't need water, like lakes, as much, apart from for like power. Come on, Q. Finish building stuff. Steel pumps. Oh, is it one of these games that runs like higher tier pumps? Okay. I've noticed there looks like there's more tiers of belts. That one I've noticed. Yeah, there seems to be quite a few tiers of belts. 90 items a minute. Nice. 60. 45, so he's got an extra 2 tiers of belts. Still not as good as ultimate belts though. Have you ever played with that mod? They're freaking expensive, but oh my god, they go. So, ultimate belts, you can get 270 a second. So it's like 16,000 a minute. And if you then combine it with the mini loaders mod, you get even more. The only problem is every single belt's like 400 iron or something, so it gets a bit expensive. $15. What a weird number. Yeah, 6 will do for now. I can't bother to build them all. Yep. But I assume that there's quite a performance gain to running that many. What am I doing? Well, I assume there's a performance game because you effectively can merge most belts into one. But I haven't quite managed to work out whether or not it's just the game then struggles to like push that many items down a belt. So I've never quite worked out if it is actually a performance game. Okay, what am I doing next? I think the iron beams and things like that I'm going to leave for like as I need them. So I'm going to do more science first. Actually, no, I'm not. Let's make a proper belt factory. Iron beams, automation. Oh, solid. I'll just build some of these. Solid. I'll just do irons. Just do them all. Solid. I know this is probably not the most beneficial way to do this, but well, whatever. I think I need everything at some point, so I assume it'll pay me back later to actually be ish sensible about how I do this. Oops. New. Out of undergrounds. Or undergroundies. Yeah. If you want to watch something slightly nuts. Oh, I don't ever play with moles, and I very rarely play with blueprints. I have a couple. Like, I've got a nuclear reactor set up because they are a pain to make, and I've got belt balancers and a couple others. But I don't really play with them that much. I tend to just make everything from scratch and copy paste stuff. I don't really have a reason for doing it like that, I just tend to. Don't know why. Or have I got more? I do indeed have more inserters finally. Oh, I need 8 of these, so sorry, I'm just going to build the other 2. Pays our mouse power poles as well. Always a good start. Power pole. Oh, I have plenty of power pole stuff. Fine. Yeah, if you want to watch something a bit nuts, by the way, you might have noticed, have this. 1,000 train cars, 30 trains, and I tried to design a base around that. Yeah, that was an interesting project. Right, I need one more load of iron stuff. And I'm about to run out of these, because I'm out of iron. Oh, I've just got stuff iron here, don't I? There we go. Okay. 1, 2. Right, there we go. Okay. Next question. How many of these make one belt? A lot. Okay, I'm not building that many. 30 of them. Yeah, that's not happening. There we go. 6 of those will do. Right. I think I'll build both of these, like, on top of where I need them. So for now, let's do belts. Okay. Belts. I feel like I should do inserters first at this rate. Okay. Belt. Actually, let's do that. Then I'm going to put belt in there. Undergrounds, thingies. Ooh. And one of those. Right. Then I need a line of gear wheels. Where are gear wheels? Oops. There we go. I'm assuming almost all of these actually need some of these. Do. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chests. Okay. Gear wheels, beams. This one needs automation cores. So, what do I make automation cores? Copper, iron stick, iron gear wheel. Okay. So what I'm thinking then. So I make these here. I can then long hand insert it over the top. Grab gear wheels off of the second conveyor that's further out. Allow that one to be fed. And this inner one can have copper and sticks. That's what I'm thinking. Come on, Cube. Catch up. So close, yet so far. Oh, you need... Oh, okay, hang on. Okay. Did it. Ta-da. Come on, Cube. You're very, 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 very close to getting done. I'm definitely giving up, though, after the blooming inserters are done. I'm tired. How's my power grid handling? Fine. Good. No problems at all. Almost there. There we go. Thought I was getting tired. Okay. Oh, I haven't got undergrounds. Come on, undergroundies. There we go. So this was gears and iron rods, wasn't it? And I've got some out of those as well. That also was not great placement by me. Okay. Come on. Almost there. It's the first base. It's gonna be spaghetti. Spaghetti is the only truth of the world. Especially in this game. I was actually watching somebody who was like doing this for the first time, and they were desperately trying to resist spaghetti. I was just like, give up. and they refused, and then they eventually had to. It was quite funny. Sticks, yeah. Okay. There is some appropriately good spaghetti. Get rid of some of my stuff as well. Spaghetti is one of those things that I think you slowly learn how to make spaghetti look neater. Even if it is still spaghetti. Oh, I'm happy I've got belts automated though. That is nice. Right, inserters, and then I'd be really, really happy. Oh, I'm out of stuff again. I may have to automate these as well. So what do I need for these? Insert parts and automation cores. Okay, interesting. How many things that automation cores are worth putting on the bus at this point? Because it looks like I'm going to need quite a few of them. But I will stubbornly persist for now, because I haven't put them on yet. And then regret it later. So what I'm thinking will be 1, 2, 3, 4. Where that'll be that one, automation cores, insert parts. Like that. Bin. Okay. Then I need gears and iron sticks for this. I'm half tempted just to steal that. In theory, if I feel like being a bit spaghetti-y, I could just do this as well. You didn't see anything. Okay. Wait. Yeah, that's right. Then I need you like that. And of course the horrible mess of power cables that are shoes. Wait. Ah, put the wrong thing on. What did you guys? I'll have to drain all them out, won't I? I need to stand here and just collect all this there. Damn, not having belt immunity. Insert parts. Okay. So how badly is that underpowered? Very. Good to know. I'm not changing it. I don't need to, it's only a bus. Right. Automate these as well. There's more automation cores. Shocker. Iron gear wheels. Huh. That is a reasonably convenient recipe to put down. There we go. Did I do fast inserters, by the way? No, I haven't. I want to do fast inserters. Third chemistry seems to be an important one. Mighty, you know what the shelter's for? Because you start with one and I can't work out what the hell it's for. Right. I'm going to go back and double check on the research. Make sure the stuff in the research box is quick. Oh wow, I've actually managed to fill up my wood already. That's a bit scary. $300 in there, 400 in there, 200, 300. Oop, you're out. What are you out of? Copper plates. Okay, I need some copper plates. Okay. Copper plates then. Get a handful, but not very many. Oops, wrong button. I should really belt the wood up as well, shouldn't I? I should probably do that, shouldn't I? One, two, three, four. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Right, that'll get that running again. Then let's belt these up. Some more belts. Oh, I can't wait till I get cliff explosives. There's wood on the bus. Yeah, heaven turters. That makes me happy. Oh, this makes me so happy to have all this stuff. Okay. Is there anything else I want to automate? I should probably automate electric mining drills at some point. Ooh, interesting. They actually made the big electric pole steel this time. Right, let's just build a couple of these then. Okay, so I guess those two done. Time to add some more spaghetti. Hold on, that wasn't meant to go there. Okay. Okay, cool. Stone furnaces are not bothered about, they're so easy to make. They need electric circuits. Interesting, and steel. Okay. So I'm going to need steel before I can go much further than this. Right. I am probably going to give up at that point. 10 o'clock here, so time to think about going to bed. So this is a really random song still. Oh. That was apparently the last one in the list. No, I've got work tomorrow. And I'm already really tired because I haven't slept too well for a couple of nights. So, yeah. Sleep is unfortunately kind of needed. As much as I'd rather just play forever. Yeah. Yeah. The next project is going to be trying to get steel going, which means I need to work out how to do coke, which is coal and wood. Doesn't sound too hard. What do I do? Oh, in stone furnaces. Ooh, that's an interesting recipe then. Thank you very much, Mighty. Now I'm tempted to try and get steel running. Oh, welcome to the world of Factorio. The world where you go, I really need to go to bed. But can I just do that one last thing first? Okay. So what I'm thinking for this... so what I'm thinking is... something like that. Although probably the other way around, just for neatness. Something like that. Is coke classified as a fuel? It is. Okay. Does that work? Because that'll give me coke into there, but I still need an iron line to feed it, wouldn't I? Yeah. If I run the conveyors quick. Yeah, out conveyors. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Mighty, is the coke is actually the fuel for it, so I don't need to run fuel to these guys. I just need to run the iron. Oops. Goes that way around. Then I just need to siphon off wood. Like that. That is also the wrong place to put that. You need to go up that side. Let's make the second one of these so it looks correct. Power. That's what I'm missing. Okay. Coke, coke. Steel, steel. That's not what I wanted. Right, and then iron gets fed into there, which will allow steel to be produced. That is what I'm thinking. Okay, so the coke definitely works as fuel, and then it gets loaded into the thingy. Good. Cool. I was half tempted to load coal onto this line. And use that as the fuel, but I don't really see a point if this is actually just going to work. What's the fuel value of coal? 6. Okay, so coke's actually worth more than... That's interesting. So the next question is what's the ratios of these? Okay, so you need twice, you need half as many steel as you can get. Okay, fine. Yeah, so I need 6. That feels far too short. But I guess it's right. Right. Inserters. Long-handed. Okay. Okay. Then I just need to copy paste one of these. You down there. Wish there was robots to build it for me. Oops. I wish I had belt immunity so the belts didn't move me around quite so easily. Alright, this also wants to come out the bottom rather than the top. You're just going to be a pain in the ass, aren't you, Ghost? Holes. Thank you, power poles, for not being idiots. Okay. Oh, I'm out of inserters. I need to go back for thingies anyways. Miners. That's the one I'm thinking of. It's interesting how much more energy coke gives you than like coal or wood, even the combined of them. Just a quick restock. And then run back. Okay. Inserters, that was all of our stuff. Oops. Now I just need some iron. Oops. I'm going to have to be careful here, because otherwise I'm going to start getting coal in these. Yeah, I am going to start getting coal in these. Oh, I hate it when you start getting mixed resources. They are such a pain in the Okay. Probably just route you around differently, shouldn't I? Make sure I get rid of the... Right, how many is that? 24, so I need 6 more. Filter coal. Alright. Instantly put you into a buffer chest, just to try and make sure you actually carry on working. Right. Let's also just quickly belt balance that side because it's not perfectly symmetrical. And then let's merge you down into the top of there. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Let's check you're working. Oh, you only need one coke per pair. Oh. Whatever. I've also done that on purpose, but I didn't pay attention to it. I suspect you could do this in a single column if you really, really tried. Not sure I really can be bothered though, must admit. And the last thing is I need to take you up to the main line. This bank of things is slowly getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Considering it only was meant to be like 3 to begin with, I think this has gone about as way as it should do. Okay. There is my little extension of what I didn't intend to do today. Didn't actually check if all that was working. I would say it is. Perfect. Well, that's interesting. These loaders actually force them onto one side of the belt prioritize. Interesting. Okay. Well, this time I'm definitely going to bed. I got sidetracked by the steel because that was kind of interesting. But yeah, now it's definitely time for bed. So yeah, I'll be back on Thursday probably with this. I'm still not sure what the hell to do with the stationeer save. Yeah. It would require... I think my issue is it would require so much rework to the base to actually, like, get everything working as I wanted it to. But I'm really not sure I can be bothered. That base was never really designed with that amount of stuff in mind. So, yeah. Not sure. Yeah. So, I'll be back on Thursday. Ta-ta for now. Have a good one.